Welcome. Please stand and join us in our opening song, Holy, Holy Way. This is a call and response. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. No, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me know that love is all around me. No, let me know that love is all around me. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy way. Thank you. You may be seated. So, good morning, everyone, and I want to welcome everyone who's online, whether you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or our website. We welcome you here and hope you'll join us time and time again. Also, I want to introduce myself. My name is Deborah Covington, and I am pleased to be the host for the service today. If you are first-time visitor, I want to welcome our first-time visitor, Patty, here today. And I know that you have been invited and you signed up at the first-time visitor register in the front, and we appreciate that. You'll be able to receive announcements and weekly emails from us on everything that's happening here. We welcome you here to our hearts, and we hope you'll join us time and time again. Also, if you're online and you're a first-time visitor, we invite you to go to our website and sign up for the email and receive the same notifications. So welcome to you here too. Let me tell you a little bit of something about CLF. Creative Living Fellowship is an independent religious science church, and we honor all paths that lead to truth. Our deep intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and practices of the science of mind and spirit. The science of mind is a new thought, ancient wisdom teaching that provides us with tools for living our best possible lives. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, said, "The more power one gives to his thoughts, the more completely he believes that his thought has power, the more power it will have." Let's take that in for a moment. So I want to announce that today we welcome back Charity Lockhart, one of our dear, dear friends who is our spiritual inspiration. We're so pleased to have her with us. Our pre-service meditation today was facilitated by our adjunct practitioner, Elena Larner, and she is also holding high watch for us. This means that she is sitting in prayerful contemplation and meditation, holding the space for the perfect unfoldment of this service. Thank you, Elena, for your continued service. Also today, Fran Pack is serving as our practitioner of the day. She will be offering our evocation, and that will be followed by our congregational chant, The World. So most of us know that here. However, with our first-time visitor, The World is a chant that was written by our wonderful senior minister, and it is beautiful. It has beautiful, powerful words that helps us to center into that place of divinity. And so I encourage you to join us in that, and you can be interactive. The words will be on the screen so we know what we're singing together. After the chant, Friend Peck will be back with our inspirational reading of the day. And so now I want to welcome up Fran for our evocation.
Then just feeling, sensing, being fully aware of that one power, that one presence, that one divine energy, that one life, that life that is my life and the life of each of us here. And so, knowing this truth, I bless this service, knowing that it unfolds perfectly, divinely. Everything that needs to be known is already known and done in the one mind of spirit. I bless each and every person and their service to this community and their service to this service, knowing that we are blessed and we are blessings. I bless Reverend Dr. Sherry and her message, knowing that it is divinely inspired. And then I know that we each receive that for which we have need. So very grateful, so very, very grateful for the perfect unfolding of this service and this day. I simply release my word, knowing that it is already made manifest in the one mind. For this, I'm so very, very grateful. And I say, thank you, life. Thank you, God. And so it is.
The world is a place of great love for all. The world is a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. The world is a place of great peace. I am a place of great love for all. I am a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, I am a place of great peace. You are a place of great love for all. You are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, you are a place of great peace. We are a place of great love for all. We are a place of great light for all. When all's said and done, we're all from the one. Oh, we are a place of great peace. The world is a place of great peace.
Our reading this morning is Architects of the Beloved Community, excerpted from Spiritual Liberation by Michael Bernard Beckwith. Architects of the Beloved Community release a vibration of love wherever they go. In the line at the market, on the freeway, at the gym, in the workplace, in the presence of so-called enemies. They reveal the highest love potential of the human spirit. With increasing commitment, let us wrap our awareness around the preciousness of human life and devote our energies to realizing our oneness with our brothers and sisters on the planet. You are never walking alone. You are walking with the infinite, the power and the presence within all that exists. This awareness enables you to move through society as a transforming agent who dares to stand in spiritual integrity, announcing the truth that love is the law of life. Every time we express love, every time we give up resentments and animosity, every time we forgive, every time we serve others, every time we share our resources, every time we put others first, we walk the path of the spiritual revolutionary. We don't have to get our act together to become a beneficial presence on the planet. We just come as we are. Don't wait for politicians, pundits, spiritual teachers, and motivational speakers to give you permission. It rests with each of us to begin right within ourselves. When we broadcast love into our world, then as surely as the day follows the night, we will see that the beloved community, which is based on the awareness that we are one, breaks out wherever we go.
When you've done all you can, and it seems like it's never enough. And what do you say when your friends turn away and you're all alone? Tell me, what do you give when you've done all you can, and it seems like you can't make it through? Well, you just stand when there's nothing else to do. You can stand, watch the Lord see you through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand. How do you handle the guilt of your past? Tell me, how do you deal with the shame? And how can you smile when your heart has been broken and filled with pain, filled with pain, filled with pain? Tell me, what do you give when you're giving your all, and seems like you can't make it through? Child, you just stand when there's nothing left to do. You just stand, watch God see you through. Yes, after you've done all you can, you just stand and be sure. Be not entangled in that bondage again. You just stand and endure. God has a purpose. Yes, God has a plan. Tell me, what do you do when you've done all you can, and it seems like you can't make it through? Well, you just stand. 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 Don't give up. No, no, don't give in. Stand right there, and you will win. Through the storms and through the rain, through the heart and through the pain. Don't you bow, don't you bend, don't give up. I declare you will win. After you've done all you can, just hold, be strong. God will step in, it won't be long. Hold on, hold on, just hold on. Hold on. After you've done all you can. After you've done all you can. Prayed and cried. Prayed and cried. Oh, after you've done all you can, you just stay. You just stay. Wow, was that a wow? Thank you so much, Charity Lockhart. We're so glad to have you back with us. So glad that's our world traveling favorite friend who's back with us today. So thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Wow, let's take a breath together. Stand. My mind is racing right now. The topic for today is stand your ground. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. Thank you for that. Stand your ground. Standing your ground doesn't mean what it in society, in our society, generally standing your ground means defending your home or defending yourself against intruders or whatever. That's not the stand your ground that I'm talking about today. I mean, stand your ground, standing in the truth that we know, standing in the truth of who we are, standing in the awareness of that power and that presence that is always right where we are, and then standing in that truth no matter what happens, no matter what happens. And that's what this journey is all about, learning to really walk the walk and walk the talk also as we walk the walk. So that's what we're doing now. This year our theme is stay the course. Our theme is stay the course, the best is yet to come. And thank you, Nicole. Stay in the course, the best is yet to come. Stay in the course, the best is yet to come. I talked about that a lot last week. And when we are standing, it's because we know that the best is yet to come. And we are on this journey, and the journey just continues. And life happens as we continue to walk this road of this journey. I like to say that there are 3 directions of the journey, and that's what our January theme is: inward, upward, onward. Inward, upward, onward. That's the direction of continuing this journey: inward, upward, onward. And the only way we can start a journey is by going inward. We have to go inward to that power and that presence that knows the way of this journey, that knows every step of the way that we are about to take, that we need to take, that we are going to take, that we have taken, knows everything about it. So we always remember to go there first, to go to that place within, to go to that truth that we know that we are one with the one. We are one with the all that is, that we are created in the image and likeness and out of the all that is. And so returning over and over and over to that allness and that fullness that is within us anchors us in the truth that we know, anchors us in that our awareness, anchors us in our knowing of that truth. It's one thing to spout it off, it's one thing to say it, it's one thing to think it, but to know it is a totally different thing altogether. And so when the more we turn within, the more we know the truth of who we are, and the more we are able to get anchored in that. And being anchored in that is what takes us upward. It takes us to a higher road, to a higher path, to a higher consciousness. And it's that higher consciousness that allows us to move onward. And so that's how we get the inward, the upward, and the onward, by turning within first, and then going upward and moving on in this journey we call life, in this journey that we are all on. Let's take a breath together. You know, the reading
Architects of the Beloved Community is one of my favorite readings in January, this time of the month in January, because of it's Martin Luther King Day tomorrow, and he talked about the beloved community, a community of inclusivity and diversity that has tensions, but it's undergirded by love. It's undergirded by love and by transformation. And so we are each a part of the beloved community to the degree that we are willing to be architects of the beloved community. And we can only be an architect of the community if we are willing to open our hearts and to open our minds and to open our entire being to recognize our oneness with each other, and our oneness with all of life, and to recognize that we are all from the one. We are all a part of the one. We are all brothers and sisters on this planet. We are all brothers and sisters on this planet. And the more we recognize that and stand in that, then the more expansive our journey becomes, the easier it is for us to move forward. And we do this with the love. We do this with the love that undergirds everything. We do this with the love that undergirds everything. So today I'm encouraging you to stand your ground in love. Stand your ground in love no matter what. Stand your ground in love. Stand your ground in love no matter what's facing you, no matter what your experience may have been, no matter what that person standing in your face is saying to you right now that's really getting on your last nerve, no matter what your relationship has been in different situations or different circumstances. Standing our ground in love is what is really, really important. Because when we stand our ground in love, it allows us to become a beneficial presence on the planet. It allows us to become a beneficial presence. And, I think that has to be our question over and over and over again to ourselves. How can I be a beneficial presence on this planet? How can I be a beneficial presence on this planet? That's a big thing. How can I be a beneficial presence? And I say on this planet, but let's chunk it down a bit. How can I be a beneficial presence right now? How can I be a beneficial presence right now? It all starts with love. But so how can I be a beneficial presence when I don't feel like it? When I don't feel like being loving, when I'm really feeling angry, or when I'm really feeling resentful, or when I'm really feeling unforgiving, or when I'm really feeling blaming, or when I'm really feeling all these things against myself. How can I get to that place of love? How can I get to that place of being a beneficial presence? How can I release whatever it is that I'm holding that keeps me from being that presence, that beneficial presence that allows me to be an architect of the beloved community? An architect of the beloved community. How do I get there? And that's a question that each of us has to ask ourselves, because it's a personal question. Only you know what blocks you. Only you know what's holding you back. Only you know what you are willing to do to become an architect of the beloved community. Only you know what you are willing to do, how you will stand your ground so that you may be that architect of one of the architects of the beloved community. And it's so important for us to do that, and particularly in today's world. Particularly with all the unrest, with all the divisiveness, with all the criticism, with all the finger pointing, with all the blaming and the shaming and all that stuff that goes on, we don't have to live like this. We don't have to live like this. We can take a deep breath and just take a step back and turn within, go within, so that we can rise above it and then move forward, go onward in that way. But just by standing our ground and saying, you know what, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how the other person may act. I don't care what the noise is outside. I don't care what other people's opinions are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The thing that matters is, what am I willing to do? How am I willing to change? How am I willing to love? How am I willing to be a beneficial presence in this situation at this time? How am I willing to show up in the world? And that's a big question for each of us. How am I willing to show up today? How am I willing to show up in this situation? Somebody just said something that really ticked me off. How am I going to respond to that? Do I have to respond with harsh words? Do I have to respond to outdo what they just said or what they just did? Or do I have to retaliate? That's the kind of usual thing that seems to be going on in the world today. And it may be the way that we have lived our lives in the past. But you know what? We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to do that anymore. We can decide, you can decide, I can decide right here and right now. I choose to do it differently. I choose to do it differently. I choose to stand on my own principles. I choose to stand in my own values. I choose to be who I am. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Choose to, well, first of all, look at what your beliefs are, what your values are. Are these really your values? Are these really your beliefs? Do you really believe what you say you believe? Do you really value what you say you value? And are you willing to stand in that? No matter what. Are you willing to stand in that even though nobody may be standing with you? Are you willing to stand in that even though it may upset other people? Are you willing to stand in who you are? Are you willing to be anchored in the truth of your being? Wherever you are, whatever you find, your situation you find yourself in. And I think that's really important for us to all keep in mind today. Are we willing to be architects of the beloved community? Are we willing to be a beneficial presence wherever we go, whatever we do? Let's take a breath a moment. You know, in this turning within situation and thinking about love, and what keeps coming to me right now is the two emotions, love and fear, that we're either acting from a place of love or we're acting from a place of fear. And so in acting from places of fear is when we get angry, when we start blaming, when we start shying away from our own values, doing the thing that is right. When we're acting from a place of love, it's when our hearts open and we decide to let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. But you know, we also have to do some more work to let it go. We got to. It's just saying, "I'm just going to let this go." It's easy to say, but are we really doing that? The best way that I find in working with people who are that I'm having difficulties with, people that I've had difficulties with, is prayer. It's prayer. When we can pray for the person who has really upset us, the person who is upsetting us, the person who is doing whatever, we are holding something against them or they're holding something against us. If we can hold them in prayer, do you know it's hard to be unloving and pray for somebody too? It's hard to be upset with somebody and pray for them also. It's hard. It's really hard to do that. And sometimes when we get used to having that regular prayer practice, when we get used to having that regular loving someone as we love ourselves, and I'll address that in a minute, but right now, just loving someone as we love ourselves, it's interesting how sometimes you can be in prayer and someone will cross your mind, and it's the person that you really are having a problem with who crosses your mind, and you end up praying for that person right then and right there. It's hard to hold something against someone and pray for them also. It's hard to hold something against someone while you're praying for them. Because when you're praying for them, you're knowing the truth about them, that they're made in the image and likeness and out of pure spirit, and God is right where they are, guiding and directing them. And so what we have to know when we are committed to being a beneficial presence is that we're willing to do that regardless. We're willing to be that beneficial presence regardless. We're willing to be loving regardless. We're willing to keep open the door of our heart regardless. That's what Howard Thurman talks about, keep open the door of the heart. And it doesn't matter which doors may be closed against you. Doesn't matter what hearts may be closed against you. Keep open the door of your heart. Prayer keeps our heart door open. Prayer keeps our heart door open. When you can pray for that person who's causing you misery, when you can pray for that situation that is causing you misery, when you can release it and turn it all over, that's when you're standing in love. That's when you're standing your ground in the truth that you know. That's when you're standing your ground in what you believe. And so that's what I'm inviting us all to do today, to really look at who is it that you need to pray for? other than ourselves, of course. It always starts with us. But who is it that you really need to pray for so that you can release them, so that you can forgive them, and so that you can be open to receive their forgiveness? Lo and behold, we don't often think about being open to somebody else's forgiveness unless there's something we think we have done. Oftentimes, when we are holding something against someone else for what they did, we don't think that they need to forgive us also. Or we need to be open to their forgiveness, whether we think we did something wrong or not. So just being open to, the more we forgive, as the reading was saying, the more we forgive, the more we share our resources, the more we care about each other, the more we recognize the fact that we are all brothers and sisters on this planet. We are all a part of the same family. There's only one. There's only one creator. There's only one power. There's only one presence. We are all from the one. And so when we recognize that, and we recognize the need to really let go of the otherness, let go of the barriers, let go of those things that would hold us back from being aware of our oneness with each other. When we're willing to do that, that's when we can stand our ground in love. That's when we can start to see the truth about other people, the truth about situations that we find ourselves in, the truth about relationships, the truth about everything, because we're seeing the truth about God. That God is all there is, the only power, the only presence, the only life, the only love, the only beingness. And within this allness, there's everything that we need: health, relationships, finances, whatever the case may be, peace, harmony, balance, joy, love, all those things are included in this one power, in this one presence that is our very life. And just like it's included for me, it's included for each one of us. And so when we recognize this, when we stand in this truth, then whatever comes up, we know it's nothing. We can just flick it off. We can flick it off and just know that all indeed is well, that as I let this go in this moment, I can be a beneficial presence right here and right now. And as I'm being a beneficial presence right here and right now, that has a ripple effect out into the world. It has a ripple effect out into the world, because my commitment, my decision to be anchored in love, to be grounded in love, affects you when I talk to you. And when you talk to the next person, and when you encounter the next person, whether it's at the grocery store, whether it's on the freeway, whether it's at the bank, whether it's at home, wherever you are, everything we do, everything we are, every vibration that we have, and love is the highest vibration, and wherever we are, we have an effect on the world in which we live. This is how we change the world. The world is not changed by the external, by things that happen. It changes by what's happening internally with each one of us, one person at a time. That doesn't sound right, because that's not what we hear all the time. We hear about all the things that can happen out there. If they would do this differently, it's about them, it's about them, it's about them. But no, it's about us. It's about each one of us. It's about each one of us. What can I do? What can I do as I'm driving down this street and that car just cut me off? What can I do as I was about to park in that parking space and a car did a U-turn to park in it just before me, that the car did yesterday when I went to Sprouts? So I was just about to turn into a parking space over to my left, and a car came from the opposite direction and did a quick U-turn and parked right there. And I said, well, lo and behold, bless you. Bless your heart. And you know what? I just took a breath and found another parking space, because I could have gotten upset. I could have started honking my horn. I don't do that, but I could have. I could have responded. I could have gotten angry about it. Why? Why? The thing to do, it was a parking space. I didn't get it. There were others. So take a breath and go on, because otherwise, had I gotten upset about that, then that would have shifted my vibration. When I got out of the car, then that would have been something else, because I would have moved then to a lower vibration. and move into a lower vibration would then start to attract things that are of that same lower vibration. And as we start to attract things, we start to experience more and more and more of whatever it is that we're putting out. So I didn't go through that whole thought process. I just know how that works. The person cut in, took that parking space. I took a deep breath, said, bless you, and didn't even think about it anymore until I'm talking about it right here and right now. That's a little thing, but you know what? Little things become big things. Little things become big things. We have to decide that we are going to stand our ground in the truth that we know, stand our ground in how we can be a beneficial presence, how we can come from a place of love, how we can be a loving presence wherever we go. And that's the strongest vibration that there can be. That's the strongest vibration that there can be. So when I left the store with much more than I thought that I had gone to get, when I got home, I had 3 heavy bags, and I live upstairs, and I have this cane that I use sometimes. So I get out of the car, and I'm trying to figure how can I do this with one trip upstairs. And I got out and I went around to the other side and got all the bags out with one hand and figured I could make it. And I heard someone calling me, and I looked up and there was a young lady running across the driveway, and she across the parking lot. And she said, please let me help you with your bags. I said, no, I can do this. And she said, no, you can't. So, you know, that independent thing. And, and she said, please let me carry your bags. Please let me carry your bags. And she told me that I said, okay, take it up to the top of the steps and put it outside my door. So she did. And she came back down. She said, I live across the driveway. And she showed me the balcony where she lived. And she said, I was in bed and I saw you get out of your car. And I jumped up and put my clothes on because I didn't want you to carry those bags. I knew you were trying to get bags out. And she ran across and she took the bags upstairs. And you know, and she said, please give me your phone number so that anytime you need anything, you can call me. And I can call you or whatever the case may be. So it was a very moving situation for me. That's the ripple effect of me responding differently, as I see it, to the person who cut me off in the parking lot, because my vibration had shifted. By the time I got home, it was just out calling her, come on, I need some help, and and all that. But the point I'm making is so many things happen that we can't even be aware of. So many things happen that we can't even know. And I realized that I had met her mother, this young lady's mother, and she had asked me months ago. She notices my license plate with Rev Sherry on it. And she had noticed months ago she'd asked me months ago about praying for them. I didn't know what for, but I pray for them every day. I had never met the daughter. And here she watches me, she says, every time I get out of my car, if she's home, she sees me get out. If she sees me with packages, she tries to get over to help to get them upstairs. But you know, we don't know the ripple effect that we have when we can be a beneficial presence, how it comes back to us in so many different ways. Now, that's a little thing, but that was a big thing to me yesterday. It was a big thing to me yesterday because she texted me 3 times after that to tell me, to give me different information, the contact information for her and wanting contact information for my daughter and just all kinds of things to say, I'm here for you. If there's anything we can do to help you, anything we can do to assist you, any way we can support you, we want to do that. That's what the beloved community is about. That's what community is about. That's what love is about. That's what standing in the truth that we know is about, standing in the truth of our oneness, because she was recognizing oneness, our oneness. She was recognizing that there's no difference. She was just recognizing love, standing in love. And that's what we all have to do. That's what we all have to do. And as I said, that's a small example, but I'm sure you can think of examples in your own life. You can think of examples every day of little things that happen. And I'm inviting you to start to look at the little things that happen, the little ways that you affect other people, the little ways that you do something that's beneficial, the little ways in which you are a beneficial presence, and you see it come back to you in so many ways that you can't even imagine. Come back to you in small ways, come back to you in big ways. It comes back. It always, there's a cycle that's always happening. There's a cycle that's always happening, and we have to be aware that when we stand our ground in the truth that we know, when we stand our ground in the truth that we know, first by going inward, to recognize that everything starts within. Everything starts with that power and that presence and that awareness of that power and that presence is just right where we are always. And once we get anchored in that, it takes us to a higher vibration. And when we're at that higher vibration, when we're at that higher level, then that's when we can move forward with ease and with flow and with grace and with balance and with harmony and with joy and with love and with peace of mind. Because when we're at that higher vibration, when we're at that higher place, we're in that place of oneness. And when we're in that place of oneness, that's where we want to stand our ground, because that's where we can move forward from. And that's when we get to know the best really is yet to come. The best really is yet to come. That's how we get to know that the best really is yet to come, simply by us being and committing to being a beneficial presence on the planet. That's a huge thing. And I'm asking each of you this week, to this day, for this upcoming week, to really commit to being a beneficial presence wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Make that commitment and then stand your ground no matter what, no matter who cuts you off, no matter what the situation may be, no matter how much of a loss it feels like to us sometimes, no matter how unfair things may seem, no matter how difficult things may be at times, just standing your ground in the truth that you know. Standing your ground in the truth that you know that no matter what's going on, I know that the power and the presence of God is right here, right now, right where I am, no matter what, and standing in that truth. And I know that as long as I'm anchored in that there is love, because God is love. The only love is God. And so when we stand in that only love and live from that place, then we don't get caught up in the small stuff. We don't sweat the small stuff. We let it all go and we stand, but we have to keep coming back to it over and over and over again, because some things are easier to let go than others. And so what I'm inviting you to do is to really look at standing your ground. Stand your ground. Stand your ground in the truth that you know. Stand your ground in what you believe. Stand your ground in your principles. Stand your ground in your values. Stand your ground in God. Stand your ground. And know that as you do that you really are being an architect of the beloved community. A beloved community in which we all come from a place of love. And it all starts with each one of us, that love. That love, that is the only thing that is. Opening our hearts, opening our minds, opening our entire being to that commitment to be a beneficial presence on this planet. Let's turn within in this moment. So just turning within in this moment to that only power, that only presence, that only love, that only life, that only breath, that only activity that I choose to call God. But by any other name, it is a source of our being. It is a source of each one of us. We each live and move and have our being in that only presence, that only power, that only life, that onlyness. Is that from which we can never depart. It is that is closer to each of us than our breathing, closer than our heartbeat, closer than our thoughts. We are one with it. We are made in the image and likeness and out of it. And so I speak the word for each of us this day. I speak the word for each of us, a word of love, a word of peace, a word of harmony, a word of blessing. For each one of us to experience all the qualities of God as we each walk through this life as a beneficial presence on the planet by opening our hearts, letting go of those things that don't serve, letting go of those things that will hold us back, letting go of those things that have held us back, and standing in the truth that we know that God is always right where we are, always in the midst, healing our body temples, healing our bodies of affairs, showing up as wholeness, as joy, as peace, as harmony, as abundance and prosperity, as all needs met, showing up everywhere God is. And we stand in this knowing that it is always right where we are. And this is the word that I speak for each of us this day. The experience of the love of God is what we stand in right here and right now. And so I'm going to pause momentarily so you may speak the names of anyone you'd like held in prayer. You may speak their names silently or loud, and you may speak them now. And so for all those whose names were spoken here this day, I know that God is right where each one is, blessing and keeping them. This word goes out to anyone on this planet needing a prayer this day, knowing that God is in the midst of everything, every situation, every circumstance. The word goes out to war-torn areas, places where there's conflict, there's war, there's unrest. It goes out to our government officials, knowing that decisions are being made for the highest and best, for all concerned. The word goes out to people who are in areas where the weather is really, really not good right now, in the coldness and the blizzards and the inclement weather. People who are affected in any way, who need comfort, who need care. This word goes out knowing that God's in the midst of it all. So I just say thank you, Father, Mother God. Thank you for the blessing of this day. Thank you for this word spoken and the perfect manifestation of this word spoken this day. I know indeed that all is well. For I know indeed that all is God. And that's simply allowed to be. And so it is.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So spirit, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If the sky we look upon should tumble and fall, and the mountain should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So spirit, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Ooh, spirit, won't you stand? Oh, spirit, stay. Yeah. Whenever you're in trouble, just stand by me. Stand stand by me. Oh, stand by me, stand by me. Spirit, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me, stand by me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Your voice makes me feel so good inside. Oh, what a gift. And thank you for sharing it, not just with our community, but with the world. Because, like Reverend Sherry said, you're traveling the world and touching so many people. Thank you. Thank you. And Reverend Sherry, thank you for that message of love today. I'm beaming. I'm beaming. It touched me deeply. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, and now is the time for our conscious giving. This is the time where we participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. We invite you to join us in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. As you tithe to CLF, we tithe to local nonprofit organizations that are serving our communities and making a real difference in the lives of real people. Like our 2023 fourth quarter Nourish Phoenix tithe recipient. Nourish Phoenix is a community hub that serves vulnerable individuals and families by offering resources and provide pathways to self-sufficiency. If you're online, you can click the donate button on our website or on Facebook, or you may use your cell phone to text to give. That text to give number is 844-941-4360. And for our in-person attendees here today, we have an usher who will be making the way forward to collect our offerings and tithes while we sing I Trust in God, and the lyrics are on the screen. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I trust in God. I trust in God. And now, if you will repeat with me our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And so it is. And thank you, Reverend Mary Jane, for your service today. So I'm going to be doing your announcements for you. So listen up. We have a reminder to offer our midday meditations, Monday through Friday. I know it was spoken of this morning during pre-service, and just a reminder that this is at noon, and it's Monday through Friday, and it's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So we all know that meditation is a way to really keep us centered and can help us really be centered in love on a daily basis. So I encourage you all to join us. The good thing about this is because it's online, if you can't make it at noon, you can watch it anytime by going to Facebook or YouTube because they're there indefinitely. So I encourage you to do that as well too. And we mustn't forget our Monday practice with Reverend Jorge. It's at 6:30 p.m. And again, through Facebook and YouTube live streams, you can get your spiritual assignments for the week inspired by Sunday services. Reverend Sherry is leading our community visioning on Sunday, January 21st at 11:30 a.m. here at the hotel, the Embassy Suites. You're invited and encouraged to be a part of this sacred practice to catch God's vision for Creative Living Fellowship and your role with Creative Living Fellowship. Remember that God's vision for CLF can only be expressed through us. So join us for this very special community event. After service today, we have our practitioners available to pray for you, and also on the welcome table is a prayer box. However, today we are having a workshop afterwards. So if you're here and you'd like prayer, you can have that done immediately. And if not, if you prefer to use written requests, we have a prayer box out on the table in the front, or you can send in an email online through a prayer at creativelivingfellowship.com email. And all we ask is that you put on the subject line prayer request so it gets sent to the correct place. Your prayer requests are prayed by the practitioner core for 30 days. So don't walk around with a heavy heart and with challenges. Let us do our service for you. The practitioners, that's what they live for, is to pray for us and hold the truth for us. Fellowship will be today, but it'll be during our workshop. The workshop today is our vision board workshop, and Reverend Mary Jane is here, and she's going to be facilitating that. This is an annual event, and what a wonderful way to start the new year by creating your own personal vision board for your life to unfold in front of you. And if you've forgotten to bring any supplies, you can run to Target, which is just right across the street, and pick up some stuff. And also, like I said, for fellowship, you can bring food from the restaurant here in and eat while you're doing the visioning process and doing the board as well too. So thank you, Reverend Mary Jean, for being willing to facilitate that. And Mary Jane is saying that she has a few supplies available. So for those of you online, hurry on over because it starts at 11:45. So if you don't have enough supplies, she's got some for you, some extra ones. And I hope that everyone that's here will be able to stay for that as well too. And one last announcement, as Reverend Sherry referred to today, tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. And so the office will be closed in observance of that. And that's it for me and announcements. So it's up to you, Reverend Sherry.
And once again, I was surprised. Just want to remind you about the treatment for supply. You know, that's always my first reminder is to remind us to use our community prayer that is found in the Science of Mind textbook, page 262. And we have copies also on the welcome table and also on our website. And a prayer for our country. I always remind you of that also. We need to pray for our country. Ernest Holmes created a prayer for our country many, many years ago, and we have a copy of it on the website also, and also on the welcome table. So use that every day. We continue to connect with each other to the degree that you can, maybe getting together in person, maybe text messages, emails, however it is you connect with each other. It's important for us to continue to do that as a community. As Deb said, there won't be any fellowship today except in the workshop, so I'd love to fellowship with you here at 11:45. So come on down and join us for that. I think that's the only announcements that reminders that I have. So why don't we now stand for our closing affirmation? And the closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth, will happen after that. So repeat the affirmation after me. I make a commitment today to be a beneficial presence on this planet and to stand my ground in that commitment. As a result, something wonderful is happening in my life right now. I know it, I sense it, I feel it, and I thank God for it. Thank you, God. And so it is. Deb's going to lead us and let there be peace on earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Thank you all. I love you. See you next week. Thank you, Charity. Yes. And thank you, Patty, for being here.